You're listening to Court Reserve Unscripted with me, Ashley Owens. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Tim. Welcome to Unscripted.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Ashley. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, well,
Can't believe I'm the 15th, 16th, 18th. How many have you done?
Yeah, I figured that I wanted to get it going so that I could be real professional when I brought the CEO of Court Reserve on. So
It's great to be here. Thanks for the invite.
you're welcome. So the big news went out about Court Reserve this week. We now have a growth partner. How are you feeling about taking on a growth partner after working it bootstrapped for the last 9.5 years?
Oh, so many emotions. So excited for where the company is now, but even more excited about where the company is going to go. You know, as you know, I've told the team and I've even told you, it's like we had a rocket ship that's sitting on a pad without any fuel. And even though we were growing and we were, we built amazing culture, you know, we just, I knew that I wanted to, me and you both, we wanted to go somewhere really special with Court Reserve. And so we added some fuel, is what I would say. So it's going to be a crazy ride. It's been a crazy ride, and I think it's going to get even crazier in a good way. And I'm excited for the teams. I'm excited for the partners we're going to be able to bring on at a faster rate. I'm excited about the people and the amazing A-plus talent that we're going to be able to hire and breathe into our culture. And yeah, it's super exciting.
Well, that's a great point because I think one of my most important things that I think about right now is the culture that we built over the last 9 years. How are we going to continue to have the same culture at Court Reserve now that we are going to scale up? The dream is not for sale, is what we used to say, and now the dream is for scale. But how do we keep the culture in your perspective?
Yeah, culture is everything for us, right? I mean, that's what makes Court Reserve so powerful. Not to the people that choose to work at Court Reserve, but for the customers that have entrusted us with their businesses. And that can't change. That can't waver. And I think as we went through this process, you know, me and you both were really, really selective on who we talked to.
Mm-hmm.
And we were very selective in the questions and how we pried and how we poked and how we questioned. It all drove back down to people and culture. Because the last thing that I know neither one of us wanted to do was to make this thing be a cultural disruptor.
Yes.
Because
true.
as soon as you disrupt the culture, as soon as the people get in their minds that Court Reserve is going to, then the appeal and what they've grown to love diminishes.
Yes.
And we didn't want it to be a diminishing factor. And I think where we landed and who we landed with is a cultural accelerator. I mean, if you look at the main sale partners and look at their reputation, you can listen to podcasts that founders have done this with. You hear their name over and over and over again about how powerful they are to work with and how they come alongside of you, support you, accelerate your growth, but they don't get in your way. Like this is still the company that we love and trust and want to move forward. They're just here to become a backbone to that and to accelerate that culture. So I think it's just important that we continue to drive the vision. We continue to amplify our core values of we get the job done, we have your back, and most importantly, we keep having fun, you know?
Sure.
And so as long as the people and as long as we as leaders on this team and got an amazing leadership team that are so excited and jazzed up for this, as long as we keep rolling that message downward and keep the excitement growing, I think it's only going to allow the people that come in to accept what we've built and become part of it and allow it to multiply exponentially.
Well, and I'll back you up on that because a couple of weeks ago we had a leadership meeting that we do every quarter with our own team. And we actually invited some of our main sale folks over to our meeting. This was even before we had closed any business. And we were asking them, questions. And still to this day, they are not telling us what to do. They are giving us opinions and feedbacks from the other hundreds of companies they've already worked with. And
Right.
one of the most exciting things for me is I tried to explain it to somebody the other day. We, as a leadership team at CourtReserve, we've been in our own little boat, making our own little decisions with our own
Yeah.
experience and our own wisdom. And now we're a part of this huge cruise ship with all of these people on the same boat, with us, and they're able to give us their experience and their wisdom. And we've already had several calls with other companies that they've worked with over the years. And I mean, the ideas are just like flowing out of my head. I mean, if there was an emoji here, it would just be like the little ideas, the light bulbs going off the entire time. Uh,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, get everybody in the boat to create the moat, right? So, I don't know where that came
we're going to
from.
cut that out of this podcast. No, this is unscripted. That's why we love it. Okay. So we talked about culture. How would you say, back to how this all began, how would you say that we have stayed married through building a business? And we've been married over 18 years now. We're headed into year 19 of marriage, and the business is getting ready to be 10 years old. So, in your opinion, how would you say that we have done a good job of staying married?
Oh, what a question. You had to throw that one at me. I think most importantly, it boils down to just trusting each other.
Mm,
I think the reason that, you know, this works and, early on in the business, I had business mentors and it's like, you and your wife are going to go at this together. Are you sure about this? I mean, I asked my wife to go and do her thing and let me run because, it's as we got to that, as we came out of COVID and our business really started gaining momentum, we really just had to rely on trusting each other in their lanes. And
mm,
I think what made us such a powerhouse team, and you're awesome to be married to, by the way, so is that you have your gifts and you have your strengths and you complement me so well in my unique gifts and my unique strengths. And they are not the same. And
right.
I think that's why we were able to allow our marriage to be like a fine wine. It got better with age. And so is Court
Woo!
Reserve, right? Court Reserve has gotten better with age because we've trusted each other. We've
Yeah.
hired and agreed upon the right people to bring into this bus.
Mm,
Because we've always been a people first company. We've always hired people over positions. We've always hired, hey, this person fits the culture, even though they may not be as experienced. We got an amazing leadership team, and we will develop.
right.
We will we can build them up to be an amazing product owner. We can build them up to be an amazing sales leader or an AE, and it's just us each us together just trusting one another in our respective lanes and trying to really keep work at work and home at home. I think that's super important. And I know pretty much every day
Tough.
it is tough. I mean, it's hard to just come sometimes unplug because it has encapsulated so much of our life,
Yes.
this journey.
Hmm.
Um, but man, I think we got such a destination we're after, and it's been a fun ride, and I can't wait to see what the next 5 to 10 years brings.
Yeah, for sure. Good words. Okay. In your opinion, define what a raving fan looks like.
Ah, such a good word. I mean, as I said before, we're all about people, and a raving fan, and I've said this word just with the last question, it's all about creating and delivering value that instills trust. So once you find, and once these customers and once the people that get involved in Court Reserve come and be a part of this, it's Like once they trust you, they want to tell other people about you. Like their experience drives them to be a promoter, drives them. Like our biggest growth lever is our referral, is our word of mouth,
Mhm.
channel. You experience, you have a good experience with our team, with our platform. What happens when you experience something good? You want to tell people about it. And so it's all about continuing to create that raving fan educating mentality across the teams. Because the more that we can educate, and the more that we can instill trust, and the more we can deliver high valuable product offerings, the more people are going to rave. So it's always got to be through the lens of the customer.
How do you, I'm glad you said that, because how do you feel about the idea board? So at Court Reserve, we have this idea board, and there's like, not kidding, like 800 or 1,000 or 1,400 ideas on the idea board. So as we continue to evolve and grow, how do we continue to build features in Court Reserve that matter to the majority of our customers? Because they're different. They're tennis, they're pickleball, they're paddle, they're badminton, they're squash, they're country clubs, they're private homeowners associations, they're public facilities, private facilities. How do you do that?
Wow, what a great question. You know, I have mixed feelings about the idea board, if I'm being honest. You know why? Because I can't say yes to all the ideas. And I know I know there's power in saying no at the right moment, especially as a CEO and as a software company. You can't you can't hit every single idea, but boy do I want to. And in the early days, boy did we ever do that.
Yes, we
And
did.
that's that whole fuel tank of trust that we were building by we were just trying to get customers. We were just trying to win them over. So every idea thrown at me, and it sort of laid a trap because some of our OG customers have come like, man, I used to could tell Tim and Ashley I needed this and this and this, but that also we were very far away from where we needed to be in the early days. So we needed to hear, hey, what's impactful for you? What's your pain points you're trying to solve? Because at the end of the day, the best software companies are the ones solving the hardest problems.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to look at it on a bigger spectrum. So as a product-led founder, like, yeah, I know there's things in Court Reserve that we need to do. There's lots of things we want to do, but we got to make sure we look at what the expected outcome is if we do something and make sure we're hitting for the masses. We want to make impactful decisions on the product side. And when we look at adoption, we can't build a feature that 4% of our it's going to matter for 4% of our customer base. I'm not trying to diminish the value to them if they need something, but as we grow and scale, we always have to be looking, hey, what's going to be the most impactful of the things we need to build? And the thing that we're looking for in the North Star vision a little bit, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too much, but we want to become more than just a club management platform.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be a platform that empowers, a platform that brings people together, because the most successful clubs in this industry are the ones that build community.
Right.
So, how can our platform be a community enabler to connect more people to pros, connect more players to players, connect more players to instructors? And so as we look towards more of the North Star of where we want to take and what the bigger vision is, it's all about a highly powered, efficient platform that not only helps a club be more efficient in operating their business, but brings players and creates stronger communities. So
So what I'm hearing you say is there's some surprises coming that we're not going to talk about today. So you'll have to come back in 3 or 4 months and we can talk more about those.
I'd love to. I'd love to. I think we should do this more often. This is kind of fun.
I've been asking you for months and
Well,
you
I'm a behind the scenes guy. You're the evangelist. You're the one everybody wants to talk to. You're the pretty one. I'm the geeky one. It's yin and yang. However got you to go out with me is beyond.
Mm,
But anyway, we
that's a
won't go down
story.
that. That is a story.
That's another day.
Yeah.
So What does it feel like to you when a customer leaves Court Reserve and goes to a competitor?
It's not even a competitor. It hurts every time a customer leaves. That's
Mm.
why, we use Slack, right? And
Yes.
we have a lot of Slack channels. If you don't know what Slack is, please come up to the 21st century or 22nd century, whatever century we're in, because it gets so muddied in Slack because we're a remote company, so that's how we communicate, that's how we interconnect, right? So one of the Slack, I have a lot of channels muted because of distraction, but one that I don't mute is the cancellation channel
Yeah.
because I need to see and understand, because it's still to this day, and we don't lose many,
Yep.
but when we do, it hurts
Yeah, it does.
because to me that's a direct correlation to, hey, we miss offering value in some way to
We
this
let them
person or
down.
to this
Yeah.
client. We
Yeah.
let them down in some way, and it really pains me because I usually reach out to every single customer that leaves and say, hey, how did we fail you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How can we make it right?
Yeah.
Because this may be biased, but I still think we are the market leader for a reason.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just, maybe they had a bad experience and had a bad day with your customer support, even though our team is awesome. They just didn't get the answer they wanted. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people have left because of a interaction with a support team member,
Right.
right? And just didn't get the answer they wanted. And so it's important for us to always be mindful of why people leave. Um, because unless we learn from it, it's a loss.
Yeah.
But if we make a mistake and we don't, I mean, if we make a mistake and we learn from it, it's a win. So it's always important to understand, hey, where can we get better and how can we get better?
All right. It's rapid question time. You ready? Favorite college basketball team?
Duke Blue Devils,
Favorite NFL football team?
Carolina Panthers,
If you could play pickleball with any NFL player, who would it be?
Gronk.
What? Why?
He's just a nut, man. I mean, like, you get on a pickleball court to have fun, and that he's going to be terrible, and he's probably going to try to take your head off with a pickleball. But boy, would he be a blast to play with.
If I can get him on my podcast, we'll have you back on and we'll talk
Yes,
about that.
yes. Even though I loathe the loathe the Carolina Panthers, loathe the Patriots. Sorry, Patriot fans. I hope none of our Boston clubs leave us now. I just love that guy. He's like my kind of dude that I would want to hang out with.
Favorite tennis player ever?
Roger Federer.
Ooh, favorite pickleball player?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with Rob Noonery just because he's the only him or Deckel Bar because I've spent time with them out in Texas and they're
Yeah.
just amazing people. And I've always, since I had that time with them on the court, I'm sort of just been drawn to watching them play and seeing their success.
Favorite place in the world you've never been to?
My favorite, Montana, that I've never been to.
Never been to. You've
Yes,
never been.
big fan of Yellowstone. I love that show and just seeing the environment and nature, like that's a place that I think I would really love to go see.
What's the book you're currently reading?
How to Be a Better CEO.
Oh, that's a real book?
Yeah.
Wow, you nailed that one. Okay. Favorite thing about your wife? Careful, we're on a podcast.
That she is always there by my side to support through the thick and through the thin.
Good answer. Well, thanks. We don't try and go on and on forever, but I appreciate your time today. I know you're very busy, and we look forward to having you back on a future
Well, I hope I get
Unscripted
an invite
episode.
back. This has been fantastic.
Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Thanks for listening to this podcast. If you'd like to learn more about how CourtReserve became the go-to club management software for racquet and paddle sport clubs, come say hello over on our website. There's a link in the show notes.